How to prevent somebody who's in chronic pain, who's been prescribed opioids, from becoming addicted to the opioids. This is a very tricky situation, but there are numerous things that can be employed. One is to let the family physician or prescriber know if there's any prior history of addiction or substance misuse, if there's any family history or personal history of mental illness. These things can help educate the healthcare provider as far as assessing risk for addiction. They can prescribe in shorter intervals rather than providing, let's say, 3 months at a time or a month at a time. It can be prescribed every 2 weeks, and to ensure that the person is not overusing or going through their prescription too quickly. The other thing is to dispense the medications as directed, and to try to minimize how much is being used. Not everyone needs to have exactly 2 pills every 4 to 6 hours. It doesn't work like that, and the best thing to do is to rely on the pain medications as a last resort. There's nothing wrong with trying alternatives like anti-inflammatories and Tylenol, and engaging in other activities like physiotherapy, chiropractics, gentle exercise. All these things can help. And then, of course, there's the other treatments like acupressure and acupuncture that can certainly help with chronic pain. Finally, it's important for people to realize that they need to live with a certain amount of pain. It's unavoidable. If they're experiencing chronic pain, it's not acceptable. It's not realistic to think that having zero pain is acceptable. That's just simply not possible. People need to basically toughen up. I know that sounds mean, but we need to learn how to live with pain and not expect to have a magic solution. That's where the opioids came into place and caused the problems in the first place with the opioid crisis. It's because people over-relied on them, including the physicians, to treating pain. So to summarize, to avoid somebody who's on opioids for chronic pain from going into developing a full-blown addiction is to prescribe it as infrequent as possible, to use it as infrequently as possible, to have prescriptions that last from 15 days to 30 days only, to dispense the medications, to have somebody else who's dispensing it, who can make sure that the person is not getting additional or overusing their medications. They can do random urine tests as well. That's another way. If a person says they haven't used in 2 weeks, well, you can confirm that. Even 5 days, you can confirm it with a urine test. And the other part, which is the hardest part, but is to realize that a person in chronic pain needs to accept the fact that it's very difficult to be pain-free, that they need to live with a certain degree of pain. And finally, to employ the use of non-medicinal therapy for pain, which includes physiotherapy, chiropractics, acupressure, acupuncture, cognitive behavioral therapy, just to name a few. I hope this helps, and if you have any questions or concerns, please leave it in the comments box below.